Welcome back to Accreditation Unlocked, the podcast that opens the door to practical guidance, expert insight, and strategic thinking for schools, colleges, and institutions navigating the world of accreditation. I'm Dr. Ken Clough, and today's episode is all about one of the most persistent challenges in accreditation: managing changes and updates to accreditation standards. Whether you're a K-12 school, a technical institute, a college, or a university, chances are that your accreditor has updated their standards at least once in the past few years, and you may have felt that uncomfortable scramble to adjust. These changes can impact your curriculum, governance, planning process, student outcomes assessment, or your documentation systems, but they don't have to derail your progress. In fact, when managed effectively, they can lead to deeper institutional alignment and improved practices. So let's get practical. Today, I'll walk you through how to stay informed, build a system for change management, and implement updates with minimal disruption. Let's unlock it. Why standards change and what it means for you. Let's start with the why. Accreditation standards are not static. They evolve to reflect changes in higher education, workforce demands, student needs, policy shifts, and innovations in teaching and learning. Here are just a few examples of why changes happen. Federal or state regulations change, such as new rules on distance learning or gainful employment. Public accountability demands increase, pushing for greater transparency and evidence of student success. Technological advances shift how teaching and learning are delivered, leading to changes in instructional design and support services. For you, the implications are real. When standards change, your institution has to change too, sometimes in subtle ways and sometimes in major ones. So how can we get ahead of the curve? Let's start with the foundation: awareness. Stay informed. Stay ready. The first practical step is ensuring that you're not the last to know about an update. Here's how. Subscribe to accreditation alerts and newsletters. Every accreditor sends updates through newsletters, policy bulletins, or webinars. Make sure you and your team are subscribed. Don't let those emails go to spam. Assign a standards liaison or point person. Designate one person in your office, whether that's institutional effectiveness, academic affairs, or compliance, who is responsible for reviewing and flagging any changes as they come in. Attend accreditation webinars and annual conferences. These events are often where changes are announced and explained in detail. Consider sending at least one representative from your team each year. Follow accreditors on LinkedIn or other social media. A lot of accreditors now post quick updates or reminders through social media. That's the first place to catch wind of something new. Check for hidden updates. Not all changes are headlined. Sometimes changes to definitions, footnotes, or terminology can significantly impact your interpretation of the standards. Read thoroughly. Let me give you a quick example. A client of mine once missed a change in the definition of program-level assessment. The definition expanded to include both direct and indirect measures, but they were only using course-embedded direct measures. They didn't realize that they were now out of compliance until their next mid-cycle review. The moral of the story? Details matter. Build a change management system for standards. Being informed is important, but having a system is what protects your institution from disruption. Let's talk about what that system looks like. Step 1. Document changes clearly. Every time you identify a standards update, create a change log that captures the date of the update, a summary of what changed, implications for your institution, and the responsible party for follow-up. Share this log across departments, especially academic affairs, institutional effectiveness, and student services. Step 2. Conduct a gap analysis. Once you know what's changed, compare it to your current practices. Ask, do we already meet this revised standard? If not, what do we need to develop or revise? What evidence do we currently have, and what will we need to collect? This gap analysis doesn't have to be elaborate. A spreadsheet works fine, just make it collaborative. Step 3. Assign responsibility and timeline. For each area that needs updating, assign a lead person. Set a deadline. Identify needed resources, such as staff time, training, software, etc. Accountability is key. Without a timeline and a responsible person, things stall. Common pitfalls to avoid. Even the best teams can run into trouble when managing changes to standards. Here are a few traps to avoid. Number 1. Waiting until the self-study to make updates. Don't treat your next self-study like a time to catch up on changes. Start now. Review one standard per month if that's all it takes. Number 2. Assuming one department can handle it alone. Accreditation is a team sport. If only one office is aware of the updates, you're setting yourself up for gaps in evidence and compliance. Number 3. Misinterpreting broad language. Some updated standards are written broadly. Don't guess. When in doubt, ask your accreditor for clarification, or join a peer group or consortium to discuss interpretations. Number 4. Failing to archive old evidence. When standards change, make sure you don't lose track of how your institution met the previous version. You may need that information for historical comparison or mid-cycle reports. Tools and templates that help. Let's talk tools. Managing updates doesn't mean reinventing the wheel. Here are a few simple tools you can put into practice. Number 1. A standards change log template. Keep a live Google Sheet or Excel file that lists the standard number, the date changed, a description of the change, the department affected, its compliance status, and a link to the evidence folder. Number 2. Gap Analysis Worksheet. A short document that compares what's required now versus what we're doing now with a simple status: met, partially met, not met. Number 3. Shared Evidence Repository. Use a shared drive like Google Drive or SharePoint and organize folders by standard. When changes occur, create subfolders labeled pre-update and post-update. Number 4. Automated alerts. Set up Google Alerts for your accreditor's name or for keywords like Accreditation Standards Update to stay informed of broader trends. Training your team for change. Even with the right tools and documents, your team must be trained to manage updates well. Here's how. Number 1. Host regular accreditation check-in meetings. Monthly or quarterly meetings where updates are discussed, even if nothing has changed. This builds awareness and responsiveness. Number 2. Provide mini trainings on new standards. Host 30-minute lunch and learn sessions when standards change. Invite faculty, staff, and department chairs. Make it low stress but informative. Number 3. Update policies and procedures promptly. If an updated standard affects internal policies, such as grading or program review cycles, revise and approve those changes as soon as possible. Don't let the documentation lag behind the practice. Embedding a culture of responsiveness. The most resilient institutions are those that embed responsiveness into their culture. That means having champions in every department who understand accreditation, normalizing change as part of ongoing operations, not a panic moment every few years. Celebrating successful adaptations. Give credit where credit is due when a department quickly aligns with a new standard. A culture of responsiveness also includes reflection. When you adapt to a new standard, don't just check the box. Ask what this change means for your mission, your students, and your future. Proactive practices that set you apart. If you want to go beyond compliance and be a model institution, here are 3 proactive strategies. Number 1, develop a standards impact report. When new standards are released, create a formal report for senior leadership that explains what changed, what the implications are, what resources are needed, and how your institution plans to respond. It frames accreditation as a leadership issue, not just a compliance issue. Number 2, link standard changes to strategic planning. Use standard changes as a springboard to revisit your strategic goals. For example, a new emphasis on student outcomes? Revisit your retention strategies. A new requirement for faculty qualifications? Update your faculty hiring processes. Number 3, engage faculty and staff early. Don't wait until changes are mandated. Invite faculty to pilot new approaches or collect preliminary evidence before the standard even takes effect. It builds buy-in and confidence. Some closing thoughts. What you do today shapes tomorrow's success. So, to wrap up, managing changes and updates to accreditation standards doesn't have to be overwhelming. With right awareness, systems, tools, and people in place, you can move from a reactive to a proactive approach. Remember, know your accreditor's update process. Track and log all changes. Analyze gaps and act early. Train your team. And embed a culture of responsiveness. By doing this, you're not just meeting accreditation requirements, you're improving your institution. Thanks for listening to Accreditation Unlocked. If you found today's episode helpful, consider subscribing and share it with your colleagues. And if you need help building out your institution's accreditation response system, visit us at the Accreditation Collaborative. We're here to help you succeed every step of the way. This has been Dr. Ken Clough. Until next time, stay aligned, stay informed, and stay accredited.